a nice opening.
It is a nice opening, isn't it?
It is, very
Yeah.
much so. As you can see, we have our trees now. We are fully in the
We're
spirit.
prepared, yes. The
We
trees
are
are out.
ready and
That's
ready
very
to go.
nice. Yeah, very good.
So we've been busy today.
Yes.
We recorded a video invitation for people to come to church on Christmas Eve. So
All kinds of ways to get that information out there.
that's right. You know, back in the old days, you maybe sent a postcard to somebody, or maybe you just invited somebody. But now you got social media, so you use all the tools at your disposal
All the tools we can.
to reach people. So in the next day or so, you will probably, if you're on social media, specifically Facebook, you will see our video invitation to come to worship. All I'm asking you to do is, if you see it, share it.
Get that information out there.
And get that information out there, because we want to share, the love of Jesus with as many people as we can. And Christmas is one of the two big opportunities, Easter being the other. So as you see those things, we just invite you to share that and like it and comment and so on and so forth, provided the comment is positive, of course. So
There you go. Yeah. But people are searching for a place of welcome and love, all those things.
And they may not know where to look, so we want to put out the, digital breadcrumbs to lead people here. So we're working on that, and that should be up and running in the next day or so. And yesterday, if you didn't join us, we had our first Advent worship of the season.
Yes. Talking about the candle of hope.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, kind of working our way around that Advent wreath.
That's right.
So it's good. Yeah.
We talked a little bit about the fact that in Isaiah, God says that he is there to help those who are weary and tired. And I couldn't help but think about that story of Moses overseeing the battle with the Amalekites. Yeah, raising his hands up, and then Aaron having to help hold his hands up because he was getting
holding
tired.
hands.
Yep, give him a rock to sit on, all those things. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, though. I prepared the message. I didn't just go up and wing it, even though it felt like I went up and just winged it. I did.
Sometimes we're moving from one thing to another this season, but
I did prepare.
We do prepare.
You know what's interesting is the word tired actually does not show up very often in the Bible. I mean,
Really?
So, I was looking at the theme and I was like, oh, let's see how many times the word tired shows up. Hardly any. There's maybe a dozen or less. Which the Bible being a collection of 66 books.
Yeah.
And it's quite voluminous.
Yes.
And the fact that the word tired is not a common word in the Bible.
That's interesting.
I did learn something.
Yeah. Huh.
The other thing after Advent, I was doing some reading in Luke, and I found my new favorite verse for the holiday season.
Luke, huh?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
Okay.
I actually posted about it yesterday. Here it is, Luke 3:23. Excuse me. Here it is. When Jesus began his ministry, he was about 30 years old. People thought that Jesus was Joseph's son. I like that. People thought that. Guess what? He is not the father. I like that. He is not. People thought he was Joseph's son, but he's not.
So it's just kind of, yeah.
You read so much of the Bible, and sometimes you just pass by stuff.
Yeah, that little side comment there. Yeah, that does kind of stand out, doesn't it?
Right? So I was like, oh, I hadn't actually noticed that before. So I actually posted that. People thought Jesus was Joseph's son. Well, you thought wrong. How about that? That's essentially what Luke was saying. You thought that, but it's not the case, right?
I'm sure Joseph was a good dad.
I think he was a great stepdad.
There you go.
He was a great stepdad. He stepped in. He was there. Robbie sings a song about this time of year called "It Wasn't His Child," and so we don't have much of that Joseph story at all.
No, he kind of disappears from the narrative pretty early.
We have Matthew talks about him a little bit, which I'm going to preach on this weekend. We have mention of him in Luke.
Yep.
And after Jesus earlier, he never shows up or is even mentioned.
Yeah, it's, there's a mention of, is this not the carpenter's son?
That is it. And so we don't know. I mean, one could assume that he died sooner than Mary, or he was intentionally left out of the story so as not to confuse the reader that he was merely a stepdad, right? I mean, you have options here, but it is interesting to note that he just kind of drops out of the narrative, and all you can do is speculate that either he died soon or they let's not even mention it, in some ways.
It's just kind of, it's a kind of a blank spot there, and we don't really know, but you don't really imagine him. By the time we get to the Mary at the foot of the cross in John's Gospel,
you think he's probably
you imagine he's not around at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, they're kind of
he's in heaven. That's what Pastor Brian is saying. I just want to fill in the blanks. You just wanted to say it so nicely.
Just so nicely.
Yeah,
yes.
He just wasn't in the picture.
He just wasn't in the picture anymore.
So there's that. And today is Rachel's birthday.
Today is the day.
Today
okay.
is the day. And, woke up, and I'm usually up a little bit before Rachel. And so the first thing that I said this morning, obviously, was happy birthday to you.
Okay.
So I did wish my wife a happy birthday. I proclaimed it also on social media today.
That's great.
So that if people who are friends of mine but aren't necessarily Facebook friends of Rachel, I'm not going to say friends, they would know it's her birthday.
Okay.
Too. So wished her a happy birthday. I paid for the flowers last Sunday, so I already took care of the flowers.
You got a gift there.
Yep. I think probably on the way home, stop at CVS to buy a card.
Get a card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then I'll find out what she's making me for dinner. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm taking her out for dinner tonight. So, yeah, we'll take my mother-in-law, also known as Meemaw, and my dad, and Rachel and I will all go out for dinner tonight. So
that sounds like a great plan.
So that is the plan of the day. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anything exciting in your world?
You know what? It's just another day closer to Christmas, and that's just exciting enough, isn't it?
That just makes your blood pressure rise a little bit.
Yeah, trying to get everything taken care of family-wise, all the things that have to be taken care of, gift-wise and otherwise. But
that's the thing. It is Christmas is, I think, in some ways more fun when you have young ones, but it's also infinitely harder.
It gets tricky, doesn't it?
Right? I mean, I do remember that. It's like, it's fun because when they open those presents on Christmas, they're excited,
yes.
they're having a lot of fun, they just can't believe their eyes, all that kind of stuff. But it's also getting all that stuff lined up
together, and then it's just like you can get lost just doing stuff here, and then you get home and you're like, oh yeah, I gotta figure something out here.
Yeah. Not to mention somebody who might run to the door and go, bah.
Yes.
That too.
Yes.
Book.
And I gotta read books.
Yeah.
Bah is books.
So anymore, I think I've mentioned this over the past few Christmases, is you get to this time of year and you feel obligated to buy gifts for family members, but with no children, right? And you think, except for our two 29-year-olds and our 25-year-old, slide them some cash, they're happy, right? But like Rachel, myself, my dad, even my mother, we have everything.
That's kind of the way I feel about
because then it becomes
other adults. It's just kind of, I mean, it can be a nice thing, but at the same time,
it's a token.
Yeah.
And you're like, do I really need to spend this much time fretting over something that is a token of love versus like, oh, I know you really want it or need this? Because, we're at a place in our life, we don't live extravagantly, but at the same time, if we want something, we just get it, during the year, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, what do we do? Do I try to, find that Red Ryder BB gun and give it to Rachel because she's always wanted a Red Ryder BB gun?
She's always wanted that.
I always tell her she's going to shoot her eye out, but...
yeah.
but
You're the Speaking of safety.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's always one of those things where I'm just like, we always huddle, and I'm like, okay, Rachel, like, what are we going to do? And she's like, let's not do anything. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how about we just have, like I said, but like we did things. Let's have a nice dinner out, and that's enough, right? And neither of us are Scrooges. We love Christmas. It's just like, but the whole.
Well, sometimes the greatest gift is just to be able to be intentional about sharing time together.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think that's where we're at anymore. Is like we don't need to go find something just so that there's something wrapped. Does that make sense? So just being together and celebrating Christmas here, which is huge, and it's so meaningful. Even for us who work, we find worship on especially holidays extremely meaningful for us who are actually doing the things too. We feel the Spirit of God working in and through us as we do the things we do. So we find great satisfaction in the work that we're doing because that God's working in and amongst that. So even for us at worship, it's just like God's here and we're happy to be a part of that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this weekend we go into Advent 2 and peace.
Peace is the second candle.
Yeah, and great story that I'm going to talk about. He said I'm going to mention Joseph this weekend. Really is a blueprint for peace. And it can be achieved in a couple of different ways. And so the Bible tells the story, but at the same time, if you look at it, you see, there's some helpful hints, not just for Joseph, but for us to find peace in our life. And so I'm actually looking forward to sharing that. I haven't put it all together yet, but I got kind of all the working bits and pieces kind of floating around up here. So I look forward to sharing that so that if you're struggling to have peace in your life right now, this actually might give you some food for thought to go, maybe I need to, and fill
right. And sometimes we don't even know that we're kind of at this inner turmoil. We're not finding that peace.
That's right.
And it takes that intentional reflection, looking back at ourselves, and say there needs to be some peace here.
Right. And sometimes you need to hear it from the outside. I mean, part of the task of preaching, either one of us, is to bring an external message to you to go, let me think about this in a different way. And hopefully, we're the ones who are able to do that in such a way that you go, for example, peace. Like, I didn't think about it that way. Maybe I need to do that, right? So, but I look forward to sharing that this weekend with you, and I think we'll have a beautiful weekend. And then the following weekend is not only worship, but we also have our Advent Christmas concert coming up. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, isn't that crazy?
And that we have this insane bake sale that our members all contribute baked goods. We have so many good bakers here.
Yeah.
And the tables, not table, tables of amazing Christmas treats are just, so even if you come for the concert and you walk through, you go, holy moly.
It is fun to just kind of walk through and just see. I mean, it's just everybody's sharing their gifts, and it's neat. It's wonderful to see.
And Rachel's our baker. I'm the one who does more cooking, but she's the baker, and I know she has already procured the ingredients for the things that she will submit to the bake sale.
Okay.
And I know they're two family favorites because, and she might make three, but two for sure. Our family favorites, so she'll make some. Most of it will go to the bake sale, but some will stay in the house because they're family. They're actually recipes that go back 3 generations.
That's fun.
So
that's super fun time to bring those things out and.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what though, when she starts, if she's making any of those recipes, the smell, I don't even need to eat it. The smell takes me back to when I'm a kid, to my mom, to my grandparents, my grandmothers, to smell specific cookies baking.
Yeah.
Just, it takes me back. And you think about songs that put you in a place, or you think about a certain thing that takes me back to. even the smell of specific Christmas cookies takes me back to when I was a kid. You know, it's good stuff.
It does. Like those little things, and it's just, I mean, some of that nostalgia, but it does bring a level of peace and that
It does.
reminder.
100%
It
does. It just takes you back. And for me, you know, you think about if you can remember, life was simpler when we were kids. Everybody else was making the decisions. Even we didn't like the decisions. We didn't have any decisions. We didn't have any bills to pay. We didn't have, you know, the stress of a mortgage when we were kids. So the smell or something that triggers you, takes you back nostalgic wise, it does harken back to your own life as being a simpler time, right?
Yeah.
And you can't live there, but for a moment.
Well, you can remember what really mattered was the love, the people around you, and
right.
that's what really matters now. So.
And it's that same love that we will be reunited with if we've already said goodbye to some of those folks from our past. So that it is the love that we'll reunite one day too. Yep. So all good stuff. So we have a song for you today that came from the 11 o'clock service, and it's not an Advent, it's not a Christmas song, but it is a beautiful testimony to the work of Jesus, specifically his death and resurrection. So I think this will bless you today. So let's take a listen to it, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
Redemption's hand, where your blood was spilled.
that great?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just wonderful. She did a great job, and it's just wonderful to have her.
You just go, wow, okay,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And
yeah.
and we can, and it's not even a brag, I say that every weekend, at least at one of the services.
For sure.
You just go,
For sure.
oh wow, right? And I know that this coming weekend, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I know that there's going to be another song that's going to be sung. That it's gonna be, oh wow.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it in worship team on Tuesday of picking something that corresponds to that theme of peace, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. So,
Absolutely.
and I think that'll be another just wow, isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the way things work is we will gather as a worship team on Tuesday, and then we'll say let's use that song this coming week, right? Like we'll give you the highlights, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
some good stuff. So this is a song, not surprising, from Hillsong United, one of the great songwriting groups of the 90s and 2000s, and which is separate from the Hillsong Church. It's like a division, but they weren't one and the same. And I think we talked about last year some of the issues that Hillsong Church had in terms of staying true to the gospel message and their leadership. But their songwriting group was separate, and they have just some tremendous songwriting ability.
Consistently
Yep.
some great
And
stuff.
specifically, Brooke Legertwood wrote this song. And you think about this, and I was thinking about this song when it was being sung on Sunday. So one of the things I was thinking about is the fact that it's not necessarily biblical in quotes or something you point to, but we need to be led to the cross. We need to be led to the miracle of Jesus' death and resurrection. You just can't put it out there. Well, you can, and just expect people to believe it, including ourselves. That we need to be led to it and brought to that miracle to not only understand it, but to feel it too, to see what price was paid. And just saying, okay, well, there's a cross, and you should believe in Jesus, that's not enough. That we actually need to be led to the cross through teachers and pastors and family members or church family who live out that gospel message of love and kindness, and that leads us to the cross, as opposed to
Right.
just, well, there it is, you should believe it now.
Right. And well, in John's gospel, you have much more of like what we would call miracles, but they're called signs too, as a there's to lead us somewhere. Like it's an act of love out there in the world, but it's meant to. I don't want to miss whatever this is.
Yep.
And it's pointing me to something.
It's pointing us to something.
Yeah.
So part of that leading me to the cross, I actually resonate with in terms of the title of the song, because it is about somehow being led, or somebody helping, assisting you, getting you to the place where you can actually wrap your heart and your mind around that thing, versus just, well, there it is, take it or leave it.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't work like that. And so I need to be led to the cross, you and all of
Absolutely.
us need to.
Yeah.
And then again and again, once again, seeing the power of the resurrection at work in my life, in your life, our lives, and you go, oh yeah, once again I'm led back to the cross to experience it anew, which I really appreciate. Now, I was looking around, and I'm all in the Psalms today, which is all pre-New Testament.
Yes, it is.
But I was thinking about being led, and what does that mean, or what does that look like? And I wasn't specifically trying to just pick Psalms. It's just like everything resonated with me, and I'll be honest with you, as I'm looking through things to like share with you, it's what resonates with me. Does it strike a chord with me?
Yep. Yeah.
So it's not scientific, but it was just like, no, that feels like the right
This
thing,
is
right?
this is what's connecting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Psalm 31, verse 3 to 5. The psalmist says to God, since you are my rock, that is foundation, and you're my fortress, you're my safe place, and for the sake of your name, of who you are, and I represent you, lead and guide me. Free me from the trap that is set for me, for you are my refuge. That is, you are my safe place. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Redeem me, that is, save me, O Lord, the God of truth. So he makes this declaration that, God, you're the one who's like, you're safe. You are the one who gives me understanding and my ground of being, my rock, my foundation.
Right.
And he's like, because of that, and because I follow you, that is for your name's sake, lead me and guide me. I like that. And then here's where it gets interesting. Free me from the trap that is set for me. I'm just going to tell you, in my life, the trap that is set for me, most of the time, is a trap I've set for myself.
It's funny how we do that, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, we're going around setting traps for ourselves, but we do that.
I'm not seeing the horde of enemies trying to, foil me.
Oh,
I got to be on. There might be a trap.
They got
laid
me
for
again.
Right? No, the trap that is set.
Yeah.
I'm my own worst enemy.
We all do that. We all
not
have our
somebody else, in a cape, and they're in the shadows. Right? The trap that's set is usually the one that I did myself, right? Mm-hmm. So I understand if somebody like David is writing this and he thinks about going to war against nations and that kind of stuff, you think, oh, them versus us. But I'm like, free me from the trap that I set for me. That's what I would.
Yeah.
That's how I would write
and
that.
Even
right?
David, he did have many enemies out there, and other political enemies, and all of that. But it's hard to not read the Bible and say, David, sometimes you were your own worst enemy more often than not.
More often than not. That's exactly right. But I like that at the end, into your hands I commit my spirit, redeem me, that is, save me, O God, O Lord, the God of truth. And I think that is where we need to be. And obviously that ties into one of the final words of Jesus. That is Luke, is it not?
Is it as in Luke? Yeah.
Who says, into your hands, O Lord, I commit my spirit. And, that is a moment of surrender, whether it was Jesus on the cross to achieving salvation for us, or it is for us to surrender ourselves and even surrender our weaknesses and our brokenness and say, okay, God, I'm giving it all to you. And I think that's a great way to look at things. Now, there's a response, loosely based, if you go to the next psalm, Psalm 32, there's kind of a response to this section. And it's like God responding to this moment of this declaration in Psalm 31. And it's only one verse, so 32 verse 8.
So the cry out in Psalm 31 and then God's response in Psalm 32.
Yeah.
God says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you and watch over you.
So there is a promise, if we want it, that God's like, I'll instruct you, I'll teach you, I'll guide you, if that's what you want. And in this case, the word I guess you would use in church would be, this is discipleship. Mm-hmm. You want to grow, and you're like making that intention. Now, here's the thing: saying it and actually putting it into practice are two different things. You can say to your face is blue, God, I want you to instruct me. I want you to teach me. I want you to show me the path that I should be on. And you can say it again and again and a million times. But until you actually humble yourself to say, not my will be done, but your will be done, words are empty in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And it's not a judgment, but it literally is like, okay, I got to put my money where my mouth is. If I'm actually going to submit myself, commit my spirit to you, to I'm going to practice these things. And there's no expectation of perfection in God's realm for us. It is literally about us wanting it and then acting upon it, even when we get it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the cross tells us God's not looking for perfection. He's also not looking for willful sinning either. But at the same time, he's not looking for perfection. Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because, some people read that as, I can do what I want. No, that's not exactly what we're saying here. But to look at the fact that if we are willing to kind of surrender our will and say, okay, God, you lead me, and when I follow that lead, I'm just going to tell you, just life seems to be, in the theme of Advent, more hopeful and more peaceful. When I'm just willing to be in the zone on that. And so God makes the offer. Question is, do we respond to that offer or not? It not just in word, but actually in heartfelt ways. And I think that's good for us. Now, there's another response to that. Okay?
Yes.
So it's like there's a declaration, God responds, and then if you jump to Psalm 143, verse 10, now there's a response to God's declaration.
Yeah.
God's like, I'll teach you, I'll instruct you. And then this is the response to that. Psalm 143, verse 10. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on level ground. I like that. May your good spirit lead me on level ground. Which feels a lot like in Isaiah, when the proclamation that God's going to show up and make straight the paths for the Lord. And that Isaiah talks about it like the king is coming to your town soon, so you better have a big capital campaign project to smooth out the roads and widen them, and if there's any curves, you don't want the king coming on a curvy road. You want to straighten that road out. You want to make the best path for him to show up so that he's impressed, and you want to lower the mountains so he doesn't have to climb a lot of hills.
Yeah.
And then here we hear this declaration of, here it is, may your good spirit lead me on level ground. And that's spiritually speaking. That's not just on your ride home today. The level ground is the peaceful ground. It's the easiest ground versus ups and downs.
It's what God wants to give us,
right,
if we can get out of our own way.
Yeah, if we can get out of our own way, and thinking about level ground. I once had, I used to live on a hill. And because I lived in the Bay Area, and the Bay Area is known for its hills. The city of San Francisco is known for its hills. I didn't live in the city, but I lived across the bay in Sausalito. And living in the national park, we lived on a hill. And behind us was a sheer hill, just like this. And then it leveled out to a gravel, kind of like gravel road behind us, meaning for us to pull into our parking spot. It wasn't like a main road, but it was just like a gravel road. And then the house. Like there was literally 10 feet between the back of the house and this sheer cliff. And a number of years ago it started raining. And it was one of those what do they call it? It's like when you get like a week's worth of rain. They have a name for it out in California.
Oh, gosh.
And I forget when it just comes off.
Doesn't sound like what you want right there.
Something, atmospheric river, that's the word. Atmospheric river. The atmospheric river had come, and it didn't stop raining. And all of a sudden, because the national park didn't do a good job keeping their drainage system open and clean, all of a sudden it started flooding behind on the gravel road. And soon there was water up to the house because their storm sewers hadn't been cleaned. And those of us who were living in their house, which is, by the way, on the National Historic Registry, we're calling the national park and saying, you guys need to come out here and deal with this.
Yeah.
Because your historic homes are going to be flooded soon. They said to us, well, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Workday's over.
Workday's over. Yeah.
So
call us
tomorrow.
Call us next time.
So we who are renting these homes in the national park, historic homes, we're trying to clear these gutters. I mean, because they're major storm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Finally, we get one clear, and it makes, that sucking noise. But once that is done, enough rain had fallen that the sheer hill started to give way.
Yeah.
And there was, and this is not an exaggeration, there was then the crumbling of the hill behind one of the two houses on that end. Mine was the other one. And it let loose, and there was a mudslide.
Yeah.
And it closed that road down. I mean, it literally, the road, it just crumbled, and it came down. Called them again, National Park Service, said, hey, we just had a mudslide, and if it gets much worse, it might damage, beyond the flood water that you don't want to deal with, you might actually have some damage to one of the historic homes here, in the, and they're like, yeah, but it's after 5.
It's after 5,
It was the
though.
second,
Yeah.
second time,
Yeah.
right? So luckily the hill didn't give away anymore. But when I think, going, why are you talking about this? Thinking about level ground, spiritually or even physically, level ground's a good place to be. Not to be on the hills that give way in mudslides, or not to be in a place where you have to climb something that is too much for you. God wants to put you on level ground. We call for level ground, which means the lack of drama,
Mm-hmm.
right? The lack of drama puts you on level ground. So don't be a person who creates drama. And secondly, don't be a person who gets sucked into drama.
There you go.
Stay on that level ground.
I love it.
And stay connected. I mean, that's really the point of what we heard today. Lead me to the cross. And I do like the line as we close up here. Rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross.
Me.
Rid me of myself. Once again, the song acknowledges what we were talking about earlier. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy.
That's the thing.
So anyways,
So-
we hope you have a great rest of your day. And whatever it is, just enjoy the peace that comes with this afternoon. But we love you. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Hope to see you in worship. And with that, Philip, will you play us out?